Alright, so this is my Econoline axle for the 8.8. I have gone and machined the thing down and pressed the 9-inch bearing on it already. I had to build a little adapter, basically a polished seal surface that set the depth of the bearing on the 8.8 axle, and then you can see a little bit of sealer in there. The entire thing spins nice and tight like a brand new bearing. There's no seal distortion as the thing spins, so I chalked that up and machined that perfectly on the lathe. All of that is sealed. So this is a machined Econoline axle with a 9-inch bearing setup pushed onto it, and these are the bearing ends that I'm going to use. Those get welded onto these tubes right here. It was real difficult to see because I have horrible camera angle. Those tubes right there, and it all gets pushed into that housing. And the gears are in the box. But yeah, that's what I've been doing all day today. Woo. So there is the backing plate assembled. You see I have plenty of room for my studs. Everything spins nice and easy. Absolutely fabulous, to be perfectly honest. There's zero interference whatsoever. If I did all of my math right, this will be flush. Ooh, that's close enough for the God I worship. Yeah. Okay, so I'm measuring for my axle tube length today. I have the bearing end and the backing plate and the retaining plate and everything completely mocked up. The bearing is basically assembled. The axle is plunged all the way in. It is touching the center pin in the diff. That's buried. That's as far as that can go. Ultimately, I'm going to end up lopping that off. That's not going to touch. That's not going to be a load-bearing member of the diff left and right. All the bearing is going to handle that duty now. So basically, the diff is only going to be responsible for turning the axles. But I have all that done. I've got my tube length measured. They were a half-inch difference left to right. That's probably got something to do with where the center pin is in relation. This is all factory setup, you know. This is centered with the stock shims, the stock carrier shims left and right. So if I ever change the gears, I will have the ability to go left and right once those are lopped off. But from what the factory says is center on this thing, that's about as close as I can ask for. I'm not going to get too much more crazy about that. I have the e-brake is basically functional. I'm going to end up using a hydraulic setup instead of a cable actuated assembly. I found that a wheel cylinder off of a 2006 Honda Civic has the correct depth that I need. When it's mounted up against the flange, it actuates the the e-brake shoe perfectly. So I've got to get the holes drilled and get that wheel cylinder mounted right there, and then get the e-brake all mocked up so that that'll work. And yeah, making really good progress. Time too. I haven't spent enough time on this project. I got to get this done before I can start on anything else according to my employer. So yeah, making progress.